The recent days of the Russian military operations in Ukraine were marked by significant successes of the joint forces of the Russian Federation, the DPR, and the LPR, despite the fact that both warring sides are already suffering from their forces depleting. The DPR units, with close Russian support, continue to move forward in the city of Mariupol. Fighting has already approached the Azovstal metallurgical plant. Russian and DPR forces are advancing from the western and eastern directions, aiming at splitting the defending units of the AFU into two parts. There are some obvious signs of the collapse of the defense and the loss of general command of the defending units of the Ukrainian armed forces in the city. After the city outskirts were completely secured by the DPR and Russian armies, the mass evacuation of civilians continues. The military developments in the Donbass front line seem to be still following the plan of the Russian military command. The DPR units took control over the settlements of Mikhailovka, Stavki, Vassilevka, and street fighting continues in the large settlement of Verkhnetgoretskoye to the southwest of Golovka. To the south of Donetsk, the DPR army occupied the settlements of Stepnoye and Taramchak. DPR forces are pushing the front lines away from the residential areas in Dokuchavsk. Clashes near the village of Mariinka continue. The AFU attempt to save their positions to the south of the Marinka-Karakhova highway and provide stubborn resistance to the DPR advance. Ugleda remains under the AFU control, but the withdrawal of some Ukrainian units from the city was reported. Along the E50 highway, supply of military reinforcements for the defending grouping continues from the city of Dnipro. Fierce clashes near Avdiivka and Popasnaya continue. In the area of the Severodonetsk-Lysychansk, the LPR grouping continues successful offensive operations. Fighting on the northwestern, northeastern, and eastern outskirts of the city of Severodonetsk continues, but DPR forces are yet to enter the cities. In the Izium-Balakleya region, fighting continues on the southern bank of the Donetsk River and the southern districts of Izium. The AFU destroyed some of the bridges and are preparing to withdraw to the Slavyansk-Kramatorsk agglomeration. In the Kharkov region, units of the Russian Federation suppressed the AFU artillery on the northeastern approaches to the city. The UAF military facilities in the Kharkov region were significantly damaged by Russian rocket and artillery strikes. The positions of the AFU artillery in Sheskovka were hit. Earlier, artillery fire of the Russian army destroyed AFU firing positions in northern and eastern Saltovka. The AFU fire from these positions stopped. Another facility linked to the U.S. programs for the development of potentially dangerous strains and research into pathogens for potentially dangerous diseases was discovered near the village of Morefa. After numerous strikes of the Ukrainian Tochka-U tactical missiles on civilians in the DPR and LPR on March 17th, Russian rockets destroyed the Ukrainian 732 artillery ammo base in the town of Sarny in the Rivne region, where the missiles were stored. Near Kiev, the AFU counteroffensive in Gostomel and Bucha turned out to be virtual. The Russian paratroopers managed to force the Irpin River, gain a foothold on the eastern shore. The expansion of the bridgehead is planned. In the area of Nikolov, there are clashes to the north of the city. The AFU attack in the direction of the Kaskovkaya HPP was repulsed. The forces of the warring sides are proportionally depleted. Having tactical successes, the Russian army and the LDPR are forced to focus on their most important front lines in Mariupol and in the city of Severodonetsk. In other regions, Russian forces are actively using artillery and aviation to suppress the AFU firing positions and fortifications. For their part, the Ukrainian units are close to exhausting their defensive potential. Offensive actions of Kiev forces are apparently possible only in the area of Nikolov and to carry out a potential breakthrough to the west from the eastern front lines, where their main grouping is under threat of operational encirclement. Each side solves the lack of forces and means in its own way. Russia is pulling up additional units from its central regions. Ukraine is forcing the mobilization of civilians and receives a large number of weapons from NATO countries.